people. Welcome to the second installment of C-Ball, or C-Ball's channel. I don't know, it really doesn't have an official name. This is the famous Adam King, or I don't think it hasn't really caught on yet.
I was going to say famous is a huge word there.
Well, I was going to say Big Slick. Actually, I can't remember if you're Big Slick or Big Slick suited.
Suited.
You was Big Slick suited.
Oh, yeah.
Because Alex Canapelli was the original Big Slick. Big Slick, poker term, Ace King.
So my initials are AK. Yeah, that's where he gets that from, for y'all non-poker fans.
And incredibly close friend, and we've been teammates for a lot.
Absolutely.
We had some good success
like
last year.
7 times, yeah.
Yeah, last year, the two of us and John Amo came in second in the Masters Platinum 9-ball, and fourth in the 8-ball teams.
Yeah.
And
we've had a lot of success together.
Yeah.
Big time.
It's funny because we did the 9-ball first, and we're like, oh, we're so close to winning, but second's good, and then in the, we came in fourth in the Masters and 8-ball. That's still quite an accomplishment. And we're all just like, I mean, you would have thought that we had missed every shot and gone 2 and out.
Yeah, no, it did feel horribly disappointing, and then you think like, oh, we got 4th place. Like that's almost as good as you can do. Yeah.
One spot away from a trophy.
Right.
I'm a trophy. The money comes and goes. And trophies stick around. He's got a closet full of trophies.
I like a good trophy.
Yeah.
I like a good trophy. Anybody that's listening to my podcast knows I like a good trophy.
Speaking of podcasts, Railbird Radio.
On YouTube currently, because I'm too lazy to upload it to iTunes.
How does that work, getting into iTunes?
You just submit a request and they review it, and it's actually not that bad.
Do they charge you anything, or how's that work?
I think they only charge you if you sell, but don't quote me on that. I'm not an expert.
So if you were on iTunes, I wouldn't have to buy it to watch it.
You can choose. You can give it away for free on iTunes, I believe, or you can definitely charge, of course.
You would obviously charge like $800 an episode.
No, 400. No, I would give it away for free for sure. I don't do anything production-wise right now, and I feel like until I do something production-wise, like make it flashier, more professional, that I wouldn't charge people. And I've been lazy with it, and not even so much lazy as things haven't worked out the way I wanted them to, and I had a very specific vision for it, and until I can do that, I don't want to go too hard at it.
Yeah, that's tough to draw that line of how long do I keep something for free to get enough customers?
Well, I didn't go into it thinking it was going to really be a revenue stream. Obviously, anything you do on the internet can turn into a revenue stream, but I just didn't. I very on purpose kind of put it over here. I was like, you know what? I work. I play pool. I make my money that way, and I want this to be no stress. As soon as money's involved with it, it's very stressful, and I'm up to here. I'm an anxious person anyway, and so my hair's falling out. I got a stomach ulcer.
It looks ancient, doesn't he?
No, I'm just saying, like I keep it very lackadaisical on purpose, so it doesn't take up too much of my time.
And we were actually, just before I turned this on, I was asking him whether he uses video or because it's currently just the radio, and he said originally the intention was to have video, but
100%. I wanted to do something like this, but more formal, really.
Thanks, Adam.
Oh, well, no.
I mean, this is the definition of casual. I want it to be that way.
Yeah, and my vision was definitely much more formal, more of like a sports show. Where players would come on and we would talk about either an experience or an actual match or something, about the mind part of the game, et cetera, et cetera. And I like that idea, and I still do like that idea. And I think I could do it if some things need to happen.
Yeah.
But it's okay.
So one thing, anyone out there is watching that's not really that avid of a pool player, or if you are, but you just haven't, like if you just kind of go to a league, and if maybe you go to APA night and have fun, and which is, it's fun and social, but going to as many big tournaments as we have we see a lot of stuff, and some of it is funny, some of it's not funny, but even the not funny stuff becomes funny when you talk about it behind closed doors or in front of a camera for people to look at.
Sure.
And so one of the things I was thinking a few days ago, I'm like, well, what are Adam and I going to talk about? I'm obviously, like I said, I'm going to ramble, but I have one specific thing to talk about, and one was moral compass when it comes to pool. And it's my opinion that you can learn, not just in pool, but that's because that's kind of my most experience when it comes to analyzing this, is that you can sometimes fairly accurately find out how people are in how they act in their day-to-day life when it comes to a moral compass, if depending on how they act in certain situations in pool, the little choices they make about what they would do to win a game.
Sure, pressure brings out truth.
Yeah,
a lot of times.
Yeah, and sometimes it's not pressure; it's just the way that person's built. Not to say that it's right or wrong. Some people, in fact, and I've known some over the years, are too nice at the pool table to a fault, and they get taken advantage of. Someone will cheat a little bit, or maybe not cheat, but they'll just do something that should have been
the
called
rules.
on. Yeah, and the nice person, if all they did was just say, "Hey, that's wrong," that's a foul or whatever. They just go, "Oh well."
I've been guilty of that,
and they
I've
lose
definitely
games.
been guilty. I've let people pass just because I didn't want to fight with them.
Yeah,
I just didn't want to engage that way, and I've lost, and then kicked myself later.
Yeah.
But I'm better now. Hell, I can be a straight asshole now.
straight up, gee.
But you learn, though. You learn how to defend yourself. It's like when you're playing pool for money often, it's like existing like an animal in the wild. If you don't learn how to defend yourself, you'll get picked on by the bigger, stronger animals, and you have to, not only does your game have to advance, your personality has to advance. You have to be like, hey, no, I've been down this road before, and get out of here with that talk.
Yeah.
I
have a couple examples. Here's a simple one. So one of the leagues I play in is the APA, and it's a great league for the casual player. It's the biggest league in the country, probably for that reason. And you get all walks of life on players. I mean, you'll have a team with some guy who's a surgeon, playing next to a guy who's, I don't know,
has been unemployed for a decade.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, there we go. Yes, and they're friends and teammates. Some people are really real sticklers about the rule. And just a couple weeks ago, we were playing against this team, and they were a new team in the league, and we had our lowest ranked player playing, and she had a shot on the 8-ball, and she just needed one more game to win, so this would have won her match. And this was been her first win ever. It was the first time she'd been playing league. And he was a capable player. And he was standing right in front of her shot, and he took his cue apart. Now, that's technically a loss. And I'm the captain of this team. I never call stuff like that. It's just not the way I roll. And so she misses the shot. He's like, he puts his cue back together and then wins the game and wins the match. And then afterwards, I said really nicely, I was like, hey, just to let you know, we would never call that, but I just want to let you know that there are a lot of teams that will call that on you. So be careful. He was like, oh, thanks. I had no idea. No one ever told me that wasn't a rule. But there are a number of people that would just do that first time, just on a regular league night when there's nothing really big on the line.
It's kind of crappy of him to be right in front of her unscrewing. It's like when you're playing a money game and you're about to shoot the last ball and the guy takes the money out and kind of holds it like he's about to give it to you, just so you can think like, oh man, I am about to get that money, and then you miss. It's a total move in a lot of ways.
It is.
Even if someone doesn't think it's a move, it's still a move.
And I don't know this guy, and he seemed really nice and genuine. I don't think that he thought that he was
sure.
And this girl,
perhaps I'm being hard on him.
well, and this is me knowing only my teammate, and my teammate was oblivious. I mean,
sure,
you could lean naked against a table, and it's not gonna change anything. Not that I've seen that happen, but there was another issue in issues, wrong word, but in APA a number of years ago when there was this lady who was captaining the other team, and she was just known. She was nice, like you'd see her and you'd go, hey. I'm not mentioning names, but you'd say, hey. Let's say her name was Betty. Her name was not Betty. Hey Betty. She'd go, oh hey, how you doing? Blah, blah, blah. And I don't know what would happen. Every single league there was a problem, an issue. On the back of the score sheet, she would write like 2 paragraphs to the league operator complaining about our team. Well, it turns out it was the other team too. She did it to every team.
He was probably, the league operator was probably her favorite person. No, I mean, like, she was, his favorite person.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, one of these again.
Probably Boom,
well,
it's like the person who cries wolf. She never got anything.
Absolutely.
So I'm sure probably never
probably hates
her. And so this one particular time, it's a traveling league, so we're at her bar's location, and we go to flip the coin to see who just puts up first, who gets to decide which 2 players are playing. And so I walk up and I go, hey Betty, I don't have a coin on me. And she looks at me straight in the face and goes, what's the visiting team's responsibility to have the coin?
Oh, jeez.
And then just stared at me, and I was like, you think that's bad? It gets worse. and then, so this particular bar doesn't have a change machine, so you have to go to the bar. Well, there was one bartender. There was like 10 people waiting for drinks because everyone had just come in. And so I have a $1 bill, but I know it's going to take me a long time, and I'm sure someone on our team has a coin, and there's only one other person there on my team, and neither one of us had a coin. And she just stood there looking at me like it was going to be this big issue. So I went up there and waited for 5 minutes to get change and came back. Well, then, I don't know, 6 months later, we were playing her same team, and I remembered this whole story. And so I had my coin. I walk up and I said, hey, Betty. She said, hey, Chisholm. And so I go, all right, you ready? She goes, yeah. And I flip the coin. I go, call it. I flip it, and the coin goes. And there's just dead silence. And I look at her and I go, I guess we'll try this again, because she never called anything. And she goes, the home team is the one that is supposed to be flipping the coin.
Oh,
and I go,
Lord, I already hate this person.
I go, but you told me that it was the visitors' team's.
I'm so mad at her right now. You don't even know.
It was the visitors' team responsibility. She goes, it's the visiting team's responsibility to bring the coin. The home team flips it. And I go, that can't possibly be a rule.
Oh, man.
But then I'm thinking about the APA, and I don't know if you've seen the actual manual for it. It's like the Bible, and thou shalt bring.
And this is why I don't. This is why I haven't played it. I can't deal with these people.
But I'm sure it's not in there. Appendix, page 382, appendix AX umlaut.
12.
And I mean, it was just dumbfounded. And what did she hope to accomplish except to create conflict?
Some people love it. They love it. Some people love conflict. And I could name a few players, but I'm not going to. I'm not going to. But we all know.
You can.
We all know.
Yes. Yeah. And I'm guessing, just based on that she is like that. I don't know her at all outside of league night.
She probably has lots of friends at work.
Yeah, like she just walks around that like on a daily life.
Yeah.
But like I said, she can be incredibly nice, and then this dragon demon comes out, and I don't know whether she knows that these aren't rules or that she thinks they are because she imagines they should be, or maybe they are a rule and she's dissected this thing and
I have nothing to say on that subject. Like, it makes my palms sweat. Like, I'm angry at this person. I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
I don't even have that in my heart or in my. I mean, what do you say? I'm flabbergasted.
Yeah, that's
you
exactly
bring the
what it
coin.
was.
I called the coin though, so don't be flipping that coin in my face. Because it's like, do I? No. Can anyone call it? We can have someone else call it. It's the same odds, you big dumb.
And now let's rewind this a little bit and replay this situation through the head. Not just the fact that she said that this is what the rule is. This is how she chose to tell me. She waited for me to flip the coin and just stand there in silence and glare at me like she was scolding me, instead of going, before I flipped, going, oh no, it's our flip, and just taking the coin from me and flipping.
When this is over, you got to tell me this person's name so I can.
You probably never.
I'm perfect. I don't ever want to know them. I just want to know of them. So when I see this person ever in real life, I can just be like, sorry, wreck the camera. That's the person. Like, and avoid every bit of contact. But anyway, that's crazy. I've never heard of anything like that in my life. I've been playing pool almost 20 years. That's crazy.
And then there used to be this big singles tournament. There's one in Cheyenne for VNEA, and there used to be one in Greeley, and that was like a month earlier. And back years ago, and I'm not going to mention a name, but anyone that was there knows who this was. And these two ladies were playing, and the winner of that match made the redraw, and they were like one of the last matches to play. So everyone was waiting for this match to finish. So there was probably 80 people watching this match, and I think it was Hill Hill at the time. And this one lady plays a safety, and the other lady kicks at her ball, misses it by a diamond and a half. I mean, nowhere close. And as she missed it, now I didn't hear this part because it happened away from me, but I heard from the people standing over there, and this became a big part of the conversation, that she said out loud, she goes, oh, I can't believe I missed the ball by that much. I mean, it was tough enough, but I can't believe I missed it by that much. So the other lady walks up and picks up the cue ball, and then the lady that missed the shot just turns around and said, foul. You didn't ask me if that was ball in hand. And she was
That's
like,
not a rule.
What? Oh yeah, it is. You have to ask them if it's ball in hand for you. That's an actual BCA rule. Someone could call you on that. Yeah. It's just,
I do it a lot when it's close just to make sure, but generally I just pick the ball up.
Yeah. So that's
still ice cold though. You missed the ball by 1.5 feet.
Yeah. And then so it was this big scene. The ref came over and just got he wasn't watching. He didn't see what happened. They said she missed the ball. She didn't ask the ball in hand. He's like, that's a foul. And then so that lady ended up losing. She's the lady that lost. Was a really nice lady, and she's like crying her eyes out, and her husband was like, he's like, don't worry about it, honey. He goes, 10 years from now, no one's gonna remember who won the women's A division in Greeley that year, except for the people that came in first and second. Everyone will be talking about this, and here I am, 15 years later, talking about it, and
immortalizing it in video.
Yeah. And then after the redraw started, everyone, if people hadn't seen it. The whole story had gone around the room, and so everyone couldn't stand the other lady. And then apparently I heard through the grapevine that she went up to the ref and said, "Well, thanks a lot for calling ball in hand. And you know how uncomfortable that's made for me. You know, like everyone's giving me crap
You
about
asked for it.
Yeah, and yeah, just amazing. It's like that, but that's what you did to try to win. I mean, why? Like who?
It's like someone calling you. You get straight in on the 8. They let you shoot it in the APA, and they go, yeah, you didn't mark your pocket." Mm-hmm. And you're just like, well, I could beat you to death right here, but I know it's not worth it, but I want to. You know? And like, that's, you know, you just have to disrespect that person for the rest of your life. I don't know. What else? Is there another thing you do?
Yeah. You
just lose respect for them forever. I don't know. Well, I draw like hard lines with stuff like that.
Well, now if you were on, you have played APA before?
No, just for these reasons you've spoken of, I don't do it. They're trying to get me on an APA Masters team right now, and I'm just like, man, do I really want?
Well, the Masters team is different.
Oh, I hope so.
Yeah, because not everyone.
Yeah, everyone's good though. Yeah, everyone knows what's going on.
They've been around the block.
I've hated on the APA a lot. I've hated on it on my podcast because of this. Because all the stories I get are awful, like just horrible examples of how to play the game, and I didn't want to be a part of that. However, APA probably brings more people to the game than anybody,
without question.
Without question.
So and you have a lot of fun too.
Sure, it's kind of a more of a bowling league atmosphere where you're drinking and having fun. But then you hear of these just terrible examples of sportsmanship and rule bending and you know, the quarter flipping. You need to bring the thing like, oh geez.
Now you hear about the reason that you hear about the negative ones and then become stories is because they don't happen as often.
Sure,
if it was flip-flop, you go, oh, you wouldn't believe it. This one time we had this fun time. You wouldn't believe it.
And that's you know, I'm disregarding those times. But I mean, you know, you see it in the you know, advanced side as well. You know, the amateur side. You know, crazy disagreements occasionally too, but it's different.
Yeah. All right. So now we're gonna do a moral compass, not quiz. Well, I guess it's kind of a quiz, but
let's do it.
But yeah. And so I'm gonna ask him a serious question. We're both gonna answer our own honest way.
We didn't prepare for this either. I have no idea what he's gonna ask.
No, he has no idea. It's like the dating game.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's going to be a situation, and then we're going to switch the person, your opponent, and you might have a different answer depending on who your opponent is.
Interesting. Okay.
But the situation is you're playing 8-ball, and you're solids, and your opponent is at the table, and you notice that he or she is about to shoot a solid, which would be a foul. Mm-hmm. And the question is, do you say something before they shoot, or do you let them shoot and a foul? Now, the situation is it's in a tournament of some kind. So the first situation, and pretend that it's a fairly big tournament, whether it's on a national level, but it's one that it's not.
It's important.
Yeah. And so one of them is a really good friend of yours. I think that's kind of a no-brainer.
I've actually never let anybody shoot the wrong ball on purpose.
This quiz is going to get really boring.
Well, I did though one time. I won a very important match against John Sandifer once. We were playing 9-ball, and he shot the wrong ball. Now, the correct ball was near-ish to the ball he wanted to shoot, and I saw him lining up, and I thought he was lining up.
You couldn't tell.
To play a safety or something, because the position was sort of tough, and I was like, okay, maybe he's just got a different idea. Maybe he's about to show me something that I don't understand. And it actually turns out he just shot the wrong ball. So I got ball in hand, and I won the match. But that's the only time I've ever let somebody do it, and I love John. I would have told him for sure. Uh-oh, lights out.
Go wave by that. Actually, you don't have to wave. There it is. Yeah, it's pretty sensitive. We're shooting lights out. We're not even.
I actually I just lost a very important match to me to Johnny Vasquez in the top 16 of the Larry Martin Memorial, and he was about to shoot the wrong ball. And I told him. I didn't want to tell him. I definitely thought about not telling him. And there's a lot of pool players that would say you should let him shoot it.
Yeah.
Of course, and I even agree with that. It would affect me, you know, if I let him shoot it and I won the match. Even Johnny might be like, oh, I shot the wrong ball. He probably wouldn't even harbor any ill will towards me. But I just didn't like it, so I told him.
If you and I were playing against each other and I shot the wrong ball and you didn't say anything, and then you're like, you shot a solid, I would not be mad at you in the slightest. I'd be mad at myself. Sure. But I would...
You would think it was weird I didn't tell you, though.
No, I wouldn't.
You wouldn't? No. Oh, you're
and then
a good competitor.
I wouldn't think about it. Oh. It wouldn't be like, I can't believe Adam didn't tell me. I mean...
See, I would be like, I can't believe Chisholm didn't tell me that. Fuck.
Well, see, I would never do it, though. In hindsight, though, I mean, in flip-flop, I wouldn't... I wouldn't let you shoot it.
I hope not. All right.
Okay, so, all right, now... The other situation is someone that you're acquaintance and you're friendly with, like someone that you get along with,
but you know them, but you're not friends.
You only see them at pool tournaments. Mm-hmm. You don't have their phone number. You don't hang out. But they're a good person.
Casual acquaintance, a good person.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I tell everybody. I tell people I hate.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's just that particular question. You could ask me some other things. I'll answer differently. But something about shooting the wrong ball. Even though, I mean, dude, it's a foul, they should definitely be paying attention. There's a bunch of very correct ways to justify letting them shoot and taking the ball in hand. And every professional I've ever seen has always let them shoot it. You know what I mean? It's like, look, you're supposed to be paying attention.
They're playing for the livelihood.
Exactly, you're supposed to be. But for me, I don't know, maybe after this conversation, maybe I'll let them do it now. And then I'll take ball in hand and I'll be like, hey guys, I thought it out. I'm going to let you shoot it now. But no, I've never done it.
If you want me to justify what has happened here, just go and watch
C-Ball's podcast.
2. Yeah,
and you'll see my reasoning. Really worked out.
For me, that one, I wouldn't let him shoot it if it's a good person and all of that. Blah, blah. Okay, same scenario, acquaintance, but you think that they would, like, you know that you've seen them do some shady stuff before, and you know that if it was reversed, they would let you shoot it 100% of the time.
Now see, there's a better chance that I would let them shoot it. If I thought they were not a cool person at all, and I know they would take every bit from me, maybe, but I haven't been in that position in my life, really. I don't remember a time where somebody I've really disliked has been about to shoot the wrong ball. But I mean, maybe. I mean, you know, that's almost how you're feeling in the moment. Or, you know, and it can also depend. I mean, this doesn't really help that much, I suppose, but if you had a huge lead,
that changes a lot.
Or if I was way behind, let's say I was way behind and the person was being a total asshole, well, now you might shoot the wrong ball. I might go ahead and let you do it and just be like, oh, sorry, buddy. You should be paying attention.
What if he's an asshole and it's Hill?
Well, of course. You know, but I mean, I haven't been in that situation.
Yeah.
But I mean, maybe. But I know I'm kind of soft about that stuff. Like, I'd probably tell him.
Yeah.
I'd probably tell him. Now, who knows? I got a money mark like anybody. If it was for big money, if we're in the finals for like $5,000, I'm probably gonna let you shoot it, buddy.
Yeah.
You know, but I mean, maybe it shouldn't be different to me, but it's different.
And part of the game is being mentally there as well as physically.
Of course. So it's probably the right move all the time to let them shoot it and take the foul. Honestly.
Yeah.
It's probably the correct move. In the spirit of the game, in the spirit of competition, you should probably let them shoot it and take ball in hand. I just feel shitty doing it.
Yeah, I feel shitty too, but I when I was younger, I was definitely a little bit too nice in those situations, and I got taken advantage of.
Yeah.
And so now I just think, like, would this person do it to me? And if it's almost a definite yes, then I'm like, then I'm going to do it to them. Why? Why do I have to be the one who suffers from being? I can be a good person in other ways. I mean, not that I'm a bad person, because I'm not breaking the rule.
Exactly.
There's
that's what
nothing
I'm
that
saying.
says you're supposed to tell the person.
Yeah. Actually, the rule, I mean, well, yeah, like I said, it's probably more correct to not tell them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the last one is if it's a national, so it's the biggest stage, and it's a stranger and someone you've never met before and someone you will probably never talk to again.
I still tell them. I do. Currently,
Such a nice guy.
Currently, I tell them, look, usually I'm winning, Chisholm, so it's no big deal. It's no big deal, baby. No, but I probably tell them, once again, that's a hard probably. Generally, I'll tell you.
Now, I do have a little secret to get divulged.
Yeah.
When this does happen, and it's been rare, but in times when I have decided, okay, I'm going to let them shoot the wrong ball, and then I'm going to call it on them. I will then, if I see them lining it up, and then I'll look away from the table. Like, I'll look at the table next to me,
Like
and
you
then
weren't paying
like,
attention.
exactly. And then they'll shoot, and then after they shoot, and out the corner of my eye, I make sure that they shot the wrong ball, and then I turn and I go, oh wait, were you? What was I? What did you shoot?
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh, I'm glad you were shooting. I probably would have done the same thing. I got confused too. Sorry, buddy.
Oh Jesus. I don't have anything like that. If anybody's ever seen me play, I'm kind of I know you shot the wrong ball immediately.
Jump up.
I see you lining up.
Foul!
Yeah, you celebrate it. Yes, foul! Like a total asshole. Yeah, no, that's smoother than my technique anyway. Which is just to be like, you're shooting the wrong ball and just watch him run out of me like a total lame ass. Yeah.
It's also, this was not on my list, but I just thought about it. It's also another question, what if it's at Hill in a team event?
Oh yeah, for your teammates. Okay, that's you know what? I'm really glad you thought of that. For my team, I'm utterly ruthless because it's not just me. For me, I'll let you beat me. That's okay.
Yeah.
I can handle that. For the team, I will call it on you in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
I'll call anything on you. You start unscrewing your cube. You
Yep.
talk to your teammates about the score at the wrong time. Nope. I mean, for your team, you got to be ruthless. I think.
That reminds me, a few years ago when we came in third. You weren't on that team, were you?
Nope. We pointed out or whatever. I couldn't do it.
Oh yeah. So I was the captain, and there was this was deep in the tournament. I think the Wizard this match got 4th or 5th, out of hundreds of teams, and so the other team we were playing had like 6 or 7 people on the roster. And the rule is that you can't play the same person twice, or it forfeits that game. And once it's written down on the sheet, or once that round starts, then it's locked in. And so they were filling out the rounds round by round instead of filling it out all at once. And we just had 5 people, so ours was set, no problems. And so it was the last round, and they filled it in, and then it was Chris's turn to play, and he walked up, and he was like, I've played this guy already. And then the guy was like, oh, and then the other captain was like, and he was a nice enough guy, and then he was like, oh man, I didn't know that. And I could have just gone, all right, well, just put your other guy in there. But I played like I wasn't really sure. I was like, Oh, I don't really know what the rule is here. Let's
You should get a ref.
Yeah, let's get the ref and see what he says. You know, I don't know. Maybe we could switch it back. I don't. Let's just figure it out. So then members from the other team are coming up and trying to input to and then the ref's like, go away. He's like, just you, and he got the two captains, and then so the guy's explaining it, and then the ref goes. And we're standing like out in the middle of the pit thing, and the ref's like, well, the rule says that, and that's like all I heard. I just turned and walked back over because I knew it was going to happen, and I didn't want to stand there. And I just told the team, they forfeited that game. All right, now we need one or two. But it was for the team. You know, if it was if not that you can do something like that in singles, but if it was something like that, but it was for the team, and it's up to them. And it's not like it was the first round. This is a beginner level team. This is an experienced team. They'd already played like 15 matches, so they had been playing 7 people before, and either they were getting away with it, and they knew it, or they just had to play teams that didn't catch it. I don't know, but it's their fault.
Like we said though, or like I said earlier, for your team. You know, you have to make the hard decisions. I mean, even if you don't look as good, I mean, I don't know. It's always different when other people are depending on you.
Yeah.
In a way.
Yeah.
You know, to me, anyway. It's like some people, like I'm that way. I tend to play my best in teams because I realize I have these other people that really need me to play well. Where sometimes for myself, even in really important situations, I'll just kind of flub one. You know, just sort of fire one off into the rail, and it's okay. It's not so bad.
Yeah.
But for the team, though, you want to kill yourself.
Yeah. Which makes it makes losing harder and winning better.
There's nothing like doing well at teams. It's so much fun.
Gosh,
that's why the Mosconi Cup does so well. It's why the Mosconi Cup is the biggest production in all of professional pool. Because you get the countries involved, and it's teams, and you can yell. I mean, it's so much better.
And all the pros, they always say this is the most nervous I've ever been.
Oh, it's by far it's the best.
And because they're such good players, they didn't grow up playing leagues, or they might have when they were like 16 years old or something.
Yeah, maybe. But, a lot of those guys have played league at some point, but it hasn't been in a while usually.
Yeah. What was that? You had said something earlier. We were talking about calling out whether they were going to shoot the wrong ball, and you were like, well, there's other scenarios where do you remember what that was?
Not particularly. Yeah. I just mean there's other scenarios where I will let a guy, hang himself in a way, but shooting the wrong ball irks me for some reason.
So what are the scenarios?
It's hard to think off the top of my head, but like, I don't want to, it's hard to think of one right there, but I feel like shooting the wrong ball because it's such a mental error. Like, they know they're the other set. They're confused. I don't know why I feel like that's okay for me to say, like, hey, stop. Hey, buddy, you're shooting the wrong ball. Do this. I can justify that to myself. Right or wrong, by the way. But other stuff, I don't know, like, other stuff's just more extreme, like tip fouls, like small little tip fouls.
Oh, yeah.
And, of course, foul.
Yeah.
Using the cue ball to measure. You can't foul. You can't do that. You can't use the cue ball to measure.
Oh.
You can't use, like, if there's
if there's
2 balls here by a rail, and you want to know if a ball fits, you can't put the cue ball in between them.
What? I thought you could do it as long as you didn't touch it.
No, you can't use the cue ball as a measuring device. You know what, though? I'm not like a super big rules guy.
Because what's the difference? How far apart do these 2 balls have to be before it's no longer...
No, I don't... And you know what? There's a good chance I'm getting that wrong. But I know there's a rule, like you can't...
Oh, I think maybe you can't take another ball out of a ball that's already been pocketed.
Maybe.
Like take a stripe out.
I was just sort of throwing one out there. It's hard for me to think of a rule not in the moment, actually. But I don't know. Like, there's plenty of stuff I'll call people on. But
how about, like, if you were nationals playing against someone you didn't know and they've already taken their bathroom/smoke break, and then 20 minutes later in a tight match they take another one.
Yeah, I mean, look, that's one of those things where if the guy's, this is where it pays to be civil. If the guy has been really cool and nice, and we're having maybe it's a tough match, maybe it's a race to 7, we're tied 5-5, and he needs another break. Well, you know what? Maybe I want a break too. I'll also use the break, wash my face, use the bathroom, wash my hands, get ready again. I don't think of it as a negative all the time. But if that guy's been an asshole the whole time, no, maybe I won't let him take that break.
Yeah.
Just to stick it to him. I mean, look, that's part of the game too. People do it to me all the time. People take breaks on my turn. I've racked the balls. I'm at address. I'm ready to get down, and they take a bathroom break. I'm like, what? Oh, okay. If you're doing that stuff, well, you're going to get the other end of it if I get a chance. I think that most players are that way.
And I'm one of those. I'm one of those players that I do not play as well when I'm upset. Some people play better when they're upset because it just like it fuels their focus. I'm the opposite, so I tend to if I can tell that this guy's a jerk right off the bat, like even if the handshake something weird goes on, then I intentionally kill him with kindness the whole time. I'd be as nice as can be, where now this guy's like, what is happening? And usually people can't stand me, and then we get into a little argument, and then I play better, and then I win.
This guy's like, I'm a total piece of crap. People hate me. Why is this guy being so nice to me?
And then it gets them nice, and then sometimes that makes them lose focus. I've had that happen before.
I've had that happen too.
They're not used to playing and being in a good mood.
Being super nice to a guy that wanted to be so serious. Yeah. And he actually loses some edge.
Yeah.
Where I'm pretty good about playing on both sides of the plate. I can play when I'm happy, and I can play good when I'm angry. But I'm like everybody, when I'm angry, I'm twice as likely to take an aggressive shot. Where I'm like, oh, I'm going to jam it down your throat, bam! And, you know, maybe you miss it or do whatever. But I feel you, though. Keeping your energy level, for all you guys out there that are trying to play better, it's humongous, the effect of keeping your energy smooth and calm. I feel like you get better rolls.
Yeah.
You're not tense on your shots as much. There's just a lot of benefits, kind of intangibles. So that's something I try to work on. Like last tournament, I got really angry. I got some bad rolls, and I got super angry, and it's out of nowhere. Me and Chris McDaniel have talked about this, and he's like, you just got to break that habit, so you don't do that anymore. And I'll go 3 tournaments in a row, and I'll be fine. I won't do it. And then something bad will happen to me once, and just trigger that anger, and then it's hard to go away. It's hard to dampen it back down sometimes.
Yeah, because you can tell yourself, don't be angry.
Oh, it's harder than that. Yeah. You got to breathe.
Yeah. You got to bear down.
Yeah, you got to bear down, baby.
Yeah,
choose them with the Bear Down Billiards shirt.
Bear Down Billiards. They are officially at Felt Billiards in the display case. Thank you, Audra.
How much you selling for, sir?
They are listed at Felt for $45.
All right.
And
that's common for nice shirts now.
Yeah, and the same shirts as Hustlin' and Grindin' use.
Yep, so. I have one, super comfortable. I wear a large, and fits perfect. I like how you made it long too in the back. I don't know if you did that on purpose.
No, that's just
anyway. It's long in the back, so I'm always paranoid about my butt showing. So and I know a lot of guys are. That's why the pre-shot pants pull up. A lot of people do that. Yeah. You're walking around and you're up a little bit first. But no, it's great shirts though. And
I could have gotten cheaper quality shirts and charged $10 or $15 less. Actually, the last order of the women's one, I stopped ordering the shirts online because you don't know exactly what they feel like, and so I saw ones that were 100% polyester, just like these are 100% polyester, but these are super smooth and breathable and very soft. And so for the women's ones, I was like, 100% polyester, but they're like half the price. I was like, awesome. And so I ordered them and I got them. They feel like a burlap sack. I was like, return those.
Especially for
I'd rather charge more.
Women like their clothes to be soft. I mean, everyone likes clothes to be soft, but I think especially for women, they would not dig the burlap sack look or feel.
So as clothes go forward and get other stuff besides this, get nicer quality stuff and charge it costs me more to make and charge a little more versus going the.
At least when you spend big, you know, a fairly large amount of money on a nice shirt, though, you get a nice shirt.
Yeah.
You know, so many times in your life you buy something, you spend a bit of money, and then it's kind of average.
Yeah.
You know, with these, I can attest, they're really nice.
Yeah.
You know,
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sweet.
Well, you got any other?
No, I mean,
thoughts or stories
I could talk
or
about pool
incidents?
for hours, but I think this is good. I mean,
Yeah.
as far as it's, you know, the whole morality thesis, you know, kind of the of the episode here has been kind of cool. I haven't talked about that either yet, so it is a tricky little part of pool. I think anybody that's played any league or been in competition at all in the game, you know, you run into these situations where you do have to make a choice. You know, do I win or do I be a good person in my heart? You know,
And is it technically being a bad person
Of
when you're
course,
just
of course.
following the rules?
It's so, you know, it's personal. Like me, I'll agree that it's probably correct to tell the people they're shooting the wrong ball, and yet I still don't do it. You know, so no, it's all good.
You know?
Yeah, thanks for having me on, and
Absolutely.
thanks for
buddy.
doing it. And we'll do it again. Like I said, I'll have Chisholm on Railbird Radio soon. I need to produce an episode, and we'll talk about something different and tell some cool stories or something. It'll be fun.
Future teammates. for this
Yeah,
year?
no, for sure. Yeah, absolutely.
For this year. Right? Yeah. We're gonna try to win
The BCA?
Yeah.
Yeah, we actually got to talk about that. It's my mom's birthday.
Uh
I know. I think I'm gonna have to miss it.
oh. Oh.
I know. Look, I'm breaking the news on the
Boo.
deal. But my mom, she's turning 60,
Yeah.
and she.
Happy birthday, King.
Yeah. She told me
King.
straight up. She was like, "You're coming to my birthday party. It's going down." My mom's last birthday party was when she was 50, like her last big one. And she got hammered and threw me in a pool with all my clothes and my cell phone and my sunglasses on and everything. My mom was a
That
savage.
sounds like my kind of party.
Yeah. I was holding the beer and she didn't want to get the beer in the pool. So she's like, "Are you drinking Corona?" And I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "Oh, I love Corona. Can I have a drink?" And then I should have. No, look, I was drunk. I was like, "It's my mom's birthday. Of course you can have a drink." She grabs the beer and pushes me in the pool. Yeah, my mom's a killer, man. I don't mess around.
So, are you going out for a full week of that? Because the BCA is 10 days. Like, when does the birthday?
No, I know. It's like right in the middle of the teams. It's bad. I looked at it the other day, and it's bad.
It's
yeah.
bad.
So
It's bad.
You guys might not see me at BCA teams, but I will play singles though,
Okay.
because I want to win that event. I've got fourth one time, but I never play good there. It's not even worth that much money. I just want that stupid title. I don't know why. I want the platinum men's title. I've been close, and I've just never sealed it. I've had a couple of really good chances to be in the top 3 too, and just dogged it. So, not this year, maybe. We'll see.
It's tough.
Yeah.
Well,
But yeah.
all right. That wraps it up. Keep tuned. There'll be as always, there'll be more coming around the
Yeah,
band.
it's fun, sir.
Yeah, absolutely,
Enjoyed
buddy.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. All
See you.
right.
Thank you, guys.
Peace. So a couple more things. Here I am, Mr. Newbie. I got a microphone and I forgot to turn it on when Adam was here. Oops! But at least it still picked up through the camcorder mic, so it's probably much quieter than this and probably doesn't sound all that good. But oh well, hopefully it'll be the last time I forget to do that. Also, I'd like to get people's opinions and thoughts about what they would do in that moral compass issue. So if you want to comment on what you would do or thoughts about what we did, just post down below and subscribe and hit like, and I don't know, whatever it is that YouTube people ask you to do. I don't know. Click this button, hit that subscribe. Don't let the tripod fall over. Yeah, well, the tripod's only about this big, so it didn't fall very far. I don't know. I could edit that out, but I might just leave it because it'd be kind of funny in my newbie state. But anyway, that's it. All right. Sayonara.